Hey everyone, sun glares. Anyways, happy Saturday. I wanted to send out a quick message to you guys about timelines. So it was just in my mind yesterday to share a message about maintaining your timeline. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but if you think that there's one conscious collective, there's one reality, but there's several different scenarios. Kind of like if you were to watch a soap opera on TV and someone who knew somebody who got murdered, their timeline gets altered, right? But let's say if someone who couldn't relate to the person who was murdered were in the same reality, their timeline doesn't get shifted, if that makes any sense. It's kind of simple and basic. But there's coming this week, especially with the votes and whatnot. Like I said, tomorrow the 3rd, or is today the 3rd? Today is the 3rd. I made a little chart a couple videos ago about November gateways, and this is one of them today. And anytime that 3 comes around, you want to think of a pyramid. And in early hermetics, the pyramid meant God force, or it meant Trinity. It meant divine mother, divine feminine, divine masculine, and the unity of the two. So 3 represents that, because there's 3 sides to a triangle. Ugh. I hate it, but that's just the way it is. If you look up, I think Naughty Beaver explained it very well, so I'll put his link in the description box below. But there's going to be a timeline jump. This is what I was kind of receiving in my, intuition, that this timeline either keeps you back or it progresses you forward. And it's weird to say that there's an alternative reality for people who don't get it, but it seems as though that's the choices that they've made, and that is the resistance that they contracted themselves to. I don't really know how the soul knew to contract itself that way, or to create obstacles and situations to where people get trapped or stuck. But I guess some people have more karmic debt in their family lines and in their current selves and in their past lives. So that's why they're kind of being shifted to a different timeline, meaning that their ascension process either is going to speed up because they're over here understanding this. So, for example, timeline doesn't really mean that another universe is created and these people have to go through, timeline basically can mean a learning lesson. Like, for instance, trusting the president of the United States who you don't like. That's a timeline, because it's not your current timeline. Or people who were, like myself, I was really, really, really super uber Christian, and I'm totally not now. I understand the wisdom, the knowledge, the text, but I'm more free in myself to accept what it is that my spirit resonates with, So that was a timeline that I jumped to. The New Age, I hate saying New Age, but it is what it is. The New Age really helps me open my eyes, because it's all Christ anyway. So regardless of what information you attain to, as long as Christ is the common denominator and you're doing the work of unity and love off the pureness of your heart, then, so be it. Enjoy doing what you do. there's this Planet X timeline that people are constantly awaiting something in the sky to show up. I see two alternatives. I see it passing by, and I actually see it, interacting. There's two timelines for that. It depends what kind of fear porn you involve yourself in. If you're constantly scared what's going to happen and you don't know how, if you're scared of the big cataclysm, then you kind of marry yourself to that timeline, and then in your area things happen. Like, we look at the major earthquakes in Indonesia and we say, oh, those poor people. But if you flash back about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, they had sacred knowledge that they did not adhere to. They kept it to themselves. They didn't share, they didn't spread it. So it's kind of like what happens to them stays in their own territory. And my heart goes out to the people who have to go through torment and affliction, because it wasn't the current situation, it was of the past in times prior. So we're coming to like a big, and I don't know if it has to do with the votes on Tuesday. I made a boo-boo. On my Gateways video, I said that the Tuesday was the 7th of November. It's a 6. And 6 opens a Fibonacci sequence. 9 closes it. If you guys remember from videos before, I said that when you have 6 and 9, things usually occur between those two dates. 3s, things happen on a miraculous, on a celestial, etherical level. And then when you have 7, 8, and 9, those are all power. 5 is power too. 13 is power as well, king. So it takes a while to understand what numbers mean, but when I see numbers all the time, I'm always like, whoa. Like even right now, it's 12:48, which equates to 8, right? 6, 7 plus 8 is, what is that? 16 plus, 15 plus 1 is a 6. So right now, to me, I'm looking at the number 6. 6 is, and it's no coincidence, I'm giving this message as there's an opening of a number sequence. So that's just how they go. I know it sounds a little bit crazy and confusing, but I'm here to help you guys out. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. I always tell people, do some grounding, like really ground yourself. I want you guys to see the time, by the way. 12:48. Oh, it's 49. Do some grounding. I usually drink water. I'll indulge in junk food, which I'm not going to do today. I actually have to start eating a little bit more healthier to help my ascension process. I do some walks in nature, or I'll take a power nap and, go do something normal after. Talk to my neighbors about non-conspiratory things. So just chillax today. Relax. Enjoy yourself. All right, everybody. I will talk to you later. Have a good day. Stay in the 5D timeline. Don't go back to the 3rd. Try not to get upset and frustrated about anything, because that's its own frequency and it will keep you from expanding. All right, bye.